Welcome to the Redefine Podcast.
All right, welcome back to the show. Thanks for tuning in. Today, we're going to talk about an interaction that I had recently on one of my social platforms, right? On Instagram, to be specific. I had an individual reach out to me, and I wanted to talk about it, share the interaction with you on the show here, so that, hopefully it'll help you avoid making some of these mistakes. And they're not really mistakes, they're just learning lessons. And that's actually one of the things I really admire about this individual. Number one, I admire that their hustle. Right, they're really out here making it happen, reaching out and trying to connect to grow their business and to offer their services. And number two, what ended up happening is, I'll tell you here in the process, was that they asked why I turned them down, right? And that's also really important. So here's what happened. I recently, this individual had DM'd me. And of course it bounced into the requested DMs, right? And I don't check that often. I should check that much more often than I actually do, because people reach out to me all the time for requests. Because I didn't see it, this individual started putting comments in my content, right? I guess they had been following me for about a week or so now. And so they started engaging in my contents, which again, I appreciate the hustle, right? They're out here making it happen. The comment was very polite and very respectful. Hey, I left you a message in your DMs if you don't mind taking a look at it whenever you have the time. I know you're busy. So really, really respectful. And so because of that, they were polite and respectful. It made me more inclined to check the messages. So I checked the message and it turns out the individual was wanting to connect and offer their services. Their services to help your engagement and get you more views with your Instagram account. Obviously it's something that I think a lot of people are looking for. I did turn them down. It's not a service that I was looking for. And what I really appreciated was, again, the fact that they asked why. Right. And so that's what I'm going to talk about today. Not the fact that they asked why. I mean, that's awesome. And I think that's a habit that you should all get into, right? Like all of us should get into the habit of asking why somebody decided not to take our offer and purchase our services or our products, because that gives you so much information, especially if you get somebody like me who will go through the trouble of answering the question. Right. So again, I appreciate their hustle, and I appreciate them asking the willingness to ask why I turned them down. And so that's what I'm going to talk about now. Number one, as I mentioned earlier, I am not looking for that service at all. Yes, it's an important service and a lot of people are looking for, but as I mentioned yesterday, I'm on a growth journey, right? I'm on a learning journey, and growing my Instagram engagement and that side of things is something that I want to learn and get really a mastery of before I outsource it. Right? Because if I outsource it, then I automatically make myself less capable, and that's one less skill set that I have. And I think it's an important skill set to have before I outsource it. So no, I'm not in the market for that kind of service. The other reason is that I don't know what level of value this individual has to offer. Right? Yeah, I mean they told me all about their services and what they've been able to do, and they've highlighted their features and benefits and all that stuff, but I can't believe any of that. I don't have any familiarity with you. I don't have any rapport. I don't have any familiarity with the value, right? And whether or not it's even worth paying for their services. So that's really, really important to consider. And I understand that what this individual is doing, it really is less marketing and more networking. Right? They're using the social platforms to network and connect and to reach out to people. It's really a lot more like cold calling than anything else. And it can be effective. Understand though that this is going to be a numbers game more than it is a marketing game, right? If you're out here cold calling, I hesitate to really advise that, because it's a numbers game. You only have a finite amount of time and effort that you can put into making that numbers game work, right? Like with let's say cold calling or cold reaching out, connecting with people on the socials, you can only connect with X amount of people a day, right? Whereas if you have a marketing funnel, which is more effective, and I'll explain that in just a second, if you have a marketing funnel, then that could be working for you whether or not you're actively connecting with people. Like you can do both for sure, but having a marketing funnel on autopilot allows you to really much more freedom, right? So that's the other thing, right? I was not familiar at all with their value, and therefore, I mean, I'm not just gonna blindly, buy your services if I don't know what you really have to offer, right? Right? Especially if you're just pitching it to me without knowing whether or not I need it, right? What would be more effective from a marketing standpoint is if you had the funnel, right? If that individual was putting out content out there on the regular, and I find value in that content, I opt into following that particular account, then I can develop a familiarity with not just the value that they have to offer, but also with the individual, and if it's somebody that I could potentially want to work with in the future, right? Right. So that's, I think, to me, again, a more effective model, creating a funnel that allows people to opt into further value to the eventuality of paying for your service. Right. Yeah, you can network and you can cold call and reach out to, people in the DMs. But also I would suggest building out a funnel for yourself. And this could apply to any product or service, really. But as long as you have that funnel, again, the fact that it's automated, all you have to do is keep putting content out there and you're doing that anyways, right? This individual is doing that anyways. So you might as well have the funnel working so that in automation, so that it supplements your cold calling and your cold contacting, right? Right. So those are really the lessons. Again, it's not an either or conversation. However, you can implement the marketing funnel on top of this stuff to really make things much more effective, right? And to give you more sources of leads for your business, for your products and services, so that you can scale up. I mean, marketing really will allow you to scale beyond contacting 10 to 20 people a day on the socials, right? Right, and it'll give you a much better conversion rate for sure. So that's the conversation I want to have today. Hopefully that makes sense. And of course, this ongoing, right? It's ongoing. It's a journey. It's a journey. It's a developmental goal, not a destination goal. So you're going to want to continue to tune in. More lessons from me, obviously. So if you're not already following the show, hit the plus sign at the top of the app on whatever app you happen to be listening on. Or if you're watching this on YouTube, hit me with a thumbs up and subscribe. Click that subscribe button. That would really be helpful. Also, what would really be helpful is share this stuff, right? Share this on your feed. Share this information with people that you might know would find value in it, right? Like, I'm just trying to get the word out, and your help would be much appreciated. So that's it for today. More from me tomorrow, obviously. So until then, be well, be safe. We'll see you in the next episode.